Hello, everyone. My name is Colette,
It's your girl Candace.
and this is Hey Cuz, and we're back with another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about dating, the
Dun
difficult.
dun dun.
So many topics, but which one would you like to start off with, Candace?
Dating in what is this 21st century? Whatever this is. It's trash.
I've been saying this. I've been saying this.
Trash. Oh my gosh. It's just what's going on? I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand it. Why is it so horrible?
I feel like there's too many options. There's too many options. There's too much stuff.
That's what I say. Yeah,
It's like
that's what I think
in the
too.
restaurant, supersize it, get what you want, backtrack, come back for another. It's too much.
That's how I feel. I think maybe social media, that maybe the intro of social media kind of ruined things a little bit, because it literally is like you can just meet somebody at any moment, even before all the dating apps. Because
Mm-hmm.
you have, Facebook, even without just dating people, they have the option to just look at people, just to be distracted. So it's
Right.
like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all that. And now you have TikTok, and then you add all the dating sites,
Yes.
and there's real dating sites, and then there's like Tinder and all the other swipey swipes. So it's just overload.
How it's being portrayed. You got all the love and hip hops and all this garbage, and then people out here just putting all their business out on social media. So if you're just in the side, just waiting for something to unravel so you can slide in, it's very easy. So easy.
That's true. I never even thought about that. Like people really could just be in the wings watching your page to see what's
Yeah,
going on.
just waiting. Watch you sign off about how unhappy you are, and then boom.
That's so true. I've never thought about that. That's
Really?
messy. I really didn't think about that part. Like they really could just be waiting for all your stuff to unravel, and then they be in your messages like, "Hey, big head.
That's the line. Yep.
Hey, big head. Long time no speak."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's funny.
I was thinking
That's
about
true.
we should catch up.
And then there's like the whole nice guys finish last thing, but I also feel like nice girls finish last. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like they finish way last, more last than the guys, because I feel like in dating, guys have the upper hand.
Mm-hmm. They do. And look at it. I really feel like my friend laughed at me. I said this the other day. Side chicks are really winning. And
I've
then
been saying
every ring
that.
is possible. They are not getting the ring. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's just too much. There's just too much going on. Like if you're a girl with morals and standards, like you just lose,
Mm-hmm.
because nobody has to step up
Right.
to those standards. They don't have to, because
It's
they will always find someone who will they will be able to get away. That's why sometimes when people like try to holler at me, I'm like, that worked for you. Like the fact that you did that, like that worked
like
on somebody.
responding. Yeah.
I really do think about that. I'm like, why would you even think to approach me in this way? And I've asked people that too. It's just crazy.
It really is.
It's wild out here in these streets.
And then
Whoever I tell people who are married and they met their person in high school or college. I'm like, y'all lucky. I mean, I know everybody has their set of challenges, but as far as like being able to avoid the dating scene, like y'all lucky, because it is just horrible,
mm-hmm.
horrible, horrible, horrible.
Mm-hmm. And you're
And
watching it play out, and you're just like, okay, well, what do I got to do now? Not that you should ever compromise your stand,
no, and
but
that's what people want you to do.
yeah, and some are because they're getting desperate. They're just like, well, I still want a relationship or I still want a family, and they're
Yeah,
compromising and ending up with trash.
because people always be like, Candace, you too choosy, you too picky, and I'm like, I should be.
Yeah.
And also, like I said in the friend video, I'm like, what do you think of me? Do I think too highly of myself? I don't think so. Cause I'm like, why do you feel like I should just be with any old body? I feel like as my friend, you should think highly of me enough to say, okay, you're not picky.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with being choosy. I'm not just about to like my time is precious. My emotions are precious. My feelings are precious.
Right.
And I'm not about to waste them on any old body. Dating, like as far as dating multiple people, just going out for fun, that's not me. I don't enjoy it. I don't judge people for doing that. Like, live your best life. It's just too much. Like, dating multiple people at the same time, that's too much energy. I don't like repeating myself. You're telling the same story to every person. I tried it once. I was like, okay, no, this is not for me. Because I'm like, oh, I'm young. Let me go play the field. I was like, no. It's not, I don't have the attention span for it. I need to focus my attention on one person at a time. Because I'll get confused. Instantly.
Dated multiple before, but not in any relationship thing. And it was just talking.
Just talking. But even that, it was just too much. I can't.
People think, oh, okay, let's down for the no. I'm not just talking.
Even that was too much.
Multiple people before, but after a while, it is tiring because it's just like, okay, well, we've been talking for a while now, so
like, what's the point?
I'm not going anywhere. I mean, I've reached my capacity with friends. I'm not interested in any right now. So
that too.
Yeah.
And guys will do that. Like you said, they be waiting in the wings. So be like, oh, we just could be friends.
Yeah.
And we just in the meet, they just waiting for their turn. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's just hard. I was talking to my brother-in-law. He's like, but you shouldn't give up on yourself. There's hope. But then he lists 10 reasons why it's so hard out there. And I'm like, you just proving my point. But then you tell me to have hope. I mean, not that I don't have hope, but I'm just being real. I'm just realistic.
Yeah.
Like Jasmine Sullivan, like that song she put out, Ain't No Hope for a Girl Like Me. Like, I felt that in my soul. Why they be winning? Why they be winning? Ain't no hope for a girl like me. Like, I was like, she reading my diary right now. Like, I felt that to my core. Because it's true. Like, I've been saying the thoughts are winning for like 10 years.
So you don't have any hope for yourself?
Oh, but like,
Slim.
I haven't lost all hope, I'll say.
Okay.
But here's the other thing. I don't feel like I'm missing out. Like, there are people who need to be in a relationship. Like, they just bounce from relationships. I don't think that's healthy either.
That's not.
I got to a point years ago where I was like, I'm happy with myself. I enjoy being single. I'm not like miserable. You know, I don't want people to get twisted. I'm not just secretly miserable in my room. Like, oh my God, I'm so lonely. No, like I enjoy myself. I'm a great person. I'm fun. I can go out by myself and be perfectly fine. Would I like to be in a relationship? Sure. I don't need to be in a relationship. Don't get it twisted. I do not. Would I like to be in one? Of course. Am I hopeful that's possible? It's like my retractable door. There's a glimmer. It's like there's a glimmer of hope. There's a glimmer of hope. I haven't lost all hope. There's good people out there. Like, I'm a good person. I'm out here. So there must be other good people somewhere.
Yeah.
Where are they? Lord knows. But I'm sure they're out there.
But you did say something I do want to speak on. You said that you're not miserable and single, you're happy and single. And I think that's important to have, because if you can't be happy with you, how in the hell do you expect someone else?
Come on, RuPaul. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen? Truer words have never been said. That's real. And I think also that's partly why so many relationships go awry, because people don't love themselves.
Right.
People don't know themselves.
Ooh, say that again, please.
People don't know themselves. Like, you need to be able to find the purpose in your singleness. When you're single, it should not just be, oh, woe is me, let me find somebody. No, that's the time you should take to get to know yourself, enjoy life. Like, I'm not just like not going anywhere because I'm single. I go out, my friends be in a relationship, whatever. We're gonna all go out and have a good time, as long as I'm not third wheeling, whatever. I shouldn't feel insecure about myself if all of my friends are in relationships. And I have been there. I have been in situations where everybody's screwed up. And when I was younger, I might have felt uncomfortable, but I don't feel no way. I don't feel no type of way. Especially, it's like, I like their partners, whatever, they cool too. I just feel like we all out having a good time. It doesn't bother me.
Right. And
so I feel like you need to get to that point. And also when you do get to that point, I feel like that opens the door. I feel like there's certain keys you need to have before the door unlocks. People just be pushing the door open, or they opening windows and hopping out of it into relationships. I think that happens a lot. But what I do feel is like the moment you do learn, get to know yourself, learn to love yourself, you're comfortable in being single, like you don't feel like an outcast or you don't feel lonely, that's when the door opens, I feel like, for you to meet somebody great.
Confidence is sexy. I really think that. I also think guys think that. If you guys don't, please sign off in the comments. But I do. So I really do. And I've heard guys say it, but I don't know if it's like a, majority.
Like y'all just saying it, or is it true?
Right.
Because I've heard that I'm
intimidating. You do, but if you are confident, I feel like that does attract people because you know who you are. No one can define
it. It should attract the right people. Because there's people who want to tear you down to bring you down to their level.
There's that too.
And that's also something you need to be wary of. And that's why I tell people you need to learn to love yourself, because you should not, because you'll get to a point where you're that desperate to be in a relationship that you'll get with anybody.
You'll compromise with, yep.
And also to the families out there, y'all be putting so much pressure on your children, especially the woman, to get into a relationship and to get married, that they end up in these toxic relationships. Because you're like, why are you single? Blah, blah, blah. And they go get somebody. You didn't say who. You just said, don't be single. So don't be mad when they come home with somebody trash. That's my PSA.
I agree.
I had to throw that one in there because like they really do be tripping. And you don't realize the impact that has on somebody.
Not getting married. There's nothing wrong with not having kids. Some people, they just choose to be single.
Choose not to. And there's nothing wrong with that either. I love seeing single people just out there living their best life. I love it. Traveling the world. I live for it. I love to see it. Love to see it. They be doing more than the people who's in couples.
Yes, and then they turn around and they're jealous, like actually jealous.
Because sometimes, like, that's why I will harp on this. I will say this. Y'all probably figured out by now. I will repeat myself because important is so important. Like, I will say this 5 times in this episode. You need to get to know yourself and you get to love yourself. Because you get in a relationship and just wrap yourself up in this other person so much that you just don't do anything. You miss out on life. So I'm like, would you rather be single and living your best life or in a relationship just to be in one and you're not growing, not evolving, not moving? Like, I've seen that. Mm-hmm. And I've seen people get into toxic relationship after toxic relationships because they just can't be alone. It is a dangerous thing when you are not okay being single, being alone with yourself. Mm-hmm. That's dangerous. It's a dangerous thing.
Because you put that responsibility on the other party to make you happy, and no one should be accountable for your happiness.
That's a heavy burden to put on one person.
Impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. People be going crazy in relationships. I mean, I've seen some people, and I'm like, you look tired, run down, broke down, sick. Mm. And there's only one common denominator. Like, you didn't. I'm just like, you didn't look like this 6 months ago.
Oh, wow.
That's all I'm saying. I've seen some people go through some relationships, and I'm like, I be over here feeling like I'm Gucci. Like, I don't want that. I be happy. Sometimes when I'm around certain couples, I'm like, good God, I dodged a bullet. Like, I be like so excited. I would much rather be alone than to be going through that. I just don't want to be with someone and you just stressing me out. Like, what is the point?
Maybe not your current friends group, but in life, from people that are just like, I'm not like you, Candace. I can't be single. I can't be I laugh, but it's sad.
But you know what? I appreciate that because at least they admit it. There are people who don't even realize this about themselves and they won't even admit it. And I think that's even worse. So kudos to the friends who admit it, but even still, I'm like, that's a problem. Yeah. I will tell them, like, that's a problem. Like, you should not need to be in a relationship.
Right.
A relationship should be an addition, a positive addition to your life. It's not necessary. Humans do need relationships and interaction. But who says somebody needs a relationship?
We're relational, but you don't have to be in a relationship. There's a difference in those two things.
I got a controversial question. I don't even know I should bring this up in this episode.
Oh, come on.
But we'll have another episode about this. We can.
All right.
I've had this discussion with a lot of people. How do I phrase this? Do you think that humans are inherently monogamous?
That's a loaded question.
Right? Right. Where did this idea of monogamy come from?
I mean, I think it's really biblical, and I get it. People gonna say in the Bible they had, all these wives and all that, but
because even marriage, that's just a contractual agreement. You know what I'm saying? So even the idea of marriage, is that outdated?
I don't.
Because it's like, what is the benefit of being married? These are questions I'd like to ask my friends. This is fascinating. I'm gonna stir the pot and add the seasoning.
Okay.
I just feel like these are questions that need to be asked, because it's like people be on a quest for this one thing, and it's like, is it natural? Is it it's normal? Mm-hmm. Is it natural?
I think that our flesh is prone to wanting more at all times. That's human nature. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. I do think it is normal to want to be in a monogamous relationship, but I think our flesh is always wanting more. It's always wanting something else, something, the grass is green on the other side. But to me, I know everyone got their all different stuff, polygamy, this, situationship, that, blah, 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 blah. To me, I only want monogamy. I'm not interested in sharing you with anybody else. I'm not interested in being, with multiple people and all that. But I just feel like it's hard to grow. You've got multiple things that you're juggling.
But naturally, though, because like, why is it so much infidelity? Do you feel like people are forcing themselves to carry out a tradition? It's like modern people trying to operate in an ancient world. Like, that is ancient.
I don't think the ideals of monogamy is ancient. I think people are not true to themselves. So they go out and they seek monogamy. They seek being in a marriage with somebody, and they're not ready to be married, or they don't want to be married because they're doing it out of society dictates. My family dictates me to, this is the next step of where I should be in life, which I don't feel like that is society's fault for, okay, it's outdated. It's nothing about being outdated. It's that person needs to be true to themselves. No one's forcing you to be in a relationship, okay?
But people live by societal norms. Not that it's a good thing. It just is what it is. But I'm glad you brought that up. Because to make things clear, for me, just my nature, I am very, like I said, loyal to a fault. I'm a Leo. I'm a lion. Like, I'm territorial. So no, I do not feel like I could be with multiple people or have my partner be with none of that. I'm selfish. I want you to myself. Like I said, I want to be around you, all that good stuff. So I don't think I can do it. But like you said, I appreciate that you said people need to examine themselves. Because I feel like monogamy has just become a societal norm. So people think they have to do it. So I feel like if people examine the idea of it more, there will be less issues in relationships. There will be less infidelity. Because I feel like there's people where that's not their natural instinct, but they think it's normal. It's normal. Well, what are we taught since we're kids? We see the fairy tales and get married. You grow up, you go to high school, you go to college, you get married. That's what we see. That's what we know. So of course, that's what you're gonna do. I feel like, but that's why it's important to have these types of conversations.
Right.
You gotta check yourself. See, is this what you really believe? And I think that's what's not happening. It's not happening enough.
There's communication.
People don't talk about this type of stuff in families.
Right.
I think it's important. People talk about this type of stuff with their friends. I guess unless I'm there, because I'm an ass. I'm an ass.
When we do come back on this topic for another episode. There was I was listening to over the weekend actually, the Red Table Talk with
Oh
Jay.
yeah, I saw that.
They did a whole thing on polygamy.
I saw that.
They had different couples on and off, for me, if someone is, well, I'm not interested for myself personally, but I'm all about, okay, that's what you're into, live your life. I just don't
But
think.
you need to at least be able to have the conversation. And I think enough people don't have the conversation.
Who needs to have the conversation?
You with yourself, you with your partner.
Yes, agreed.
All of that.
Agreed.
And I think that doesn't happen.
The people that were on that show, they were, in a polygamous relationship. The guy was, had a wife and a girlfriend, and they were all one big happy couple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the thing that people, when they start throwing the word polygamy around, everyone has to be okay with that. And if somebody is not okay with that, you cannot force them into it. And I think
here's the thing though.
It's like to push this agenda of let's normalize. No, there's a community out there that is fine with it. Go find that community and live your best life, but don't force that on anyone else. Because
I agree.
My beliefs in monogamy are unwavering. It's not going to change. I'm never going to be
in
a polygamous relationship, but that needs to be respected. Now, I wouldn't date somebody who's like, well, let's just try this, let's try that. No, we don't align up and that's it.
Yeah, I feel you. I just feel like the conversation needs to be had.
Yeah.
A lot of conversation needs to be had. Because realistically speaking, there's a whole lot of people that are unknowingly in polyamorous relationships.
Yes. And that's a problem.
So it's like, this is involuntary for you, okay? You are in a polyamorous relationship and you don't even know it. So I feel like it would be safer just to throw it out there. I feel like always in everything, put everything on the table up front.
Right.
Like anytime I'm talking to somebody, it's like, I want to do this, that, and the third with one person.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And if that
and the reverse. Huh?
And if that is broken by somebody, then all bets are off because you violated the trust. And that's just that.
Because even in dating, right? And this is the thing, we'll go into ghosting in a second. People don't tell the truth. Mm-hmm. People don't communicate. I feel like people our age are childish. Actually, it's not even childish because kids tell the truth. I don't want to disrespect kids like that. I don't know what the word is, but it's just like, grow up. Just state what you want. Because you never know if somebody's gonna agree. They might be down for it.
Yeah.
That's what's so frustrating in this day and age. Like people, it's like, oh, I just want to be with you. But then they cheat on you in like 2 months. If you didn't want to be in a committed relationship, you should have just said that. Mm-hmm. If you want a friend, say it. If you want a friend with benefits, if you want a situationship, if you just want to talk, if you date multiple people, if you want to be a committed, say all that up front. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, you never know what that person might be down with. Maybe this person's in this state in their life where they don't want a committed relationship, but they want to have a little bit of fun. They down to kick it with you. Mm-hmm. But you don't know because you weren't honest. You think, especially with guys to, men to women, you think a girl wants to hear that you want to be in a committed relationship. That's the only way you're going to get her. There's women out here who don't want to be in a committed relationship. They would say yes.
Right.
They would. So that's my problem in this whole 2020, 2021 situation. Nobody's upfront. Mm-hmm. Like they want to spit you a lot of game. Just tell the truth. Because you don't know where I'm at in my life. I might say yes. Maybe I don't want a committed relationship. Maybe I don't want you all up in my space. Maybe I just want to see you on the weekend and go to brunch. You don't know. Like you will never know until you just state. That's why state your intentions up front. I always do that. And people like, you too blunt, you too honest. Well,
you can't say you didn't know.
I'm not for everybody. Right. And like I said, you can't say you didn't know. Because I think people are just too sensitive. They think some people are sensitive. Men are sensitive. I say this all the time. I'm like, men, it's y'all the crazy ones. Y'all are sensitive. And so y'all assume that the woman's going to be sensitive. No, I feel like women like the truth. You sensitive, so you projecting it onto her. You scared to say what's really on your mind. Guys talk a lot of game. They do. But they can't take when it's returned to them.
Oh, of course not.
At me in the comments, okay?
Of course not.
At me, okay?
Cannot handle it.
Because I hear all these stories. And like girls will tell me like they were in a season of their life where they just wanted to kick it. They didn't want nothing serious. They're dating a guy, turned out he was married. But he was trying to wife this woman. He introduced her to his family, mad that he's not getting introduced to her family. And I'm like, you know what that is? It's crazy. Men are crazy. Because you were with a woman who did not want a commitment. You cheating on your wife. You should want to be with someone. Not that I'm condoning cheating, but you should want to be with a woman who doesn't want a commitment. That's the ideal world for the situation. But no, you want to act crazy and commit to this woman and you marry. That's psychotic.
Do you think it's the control? I think it's the control of just wanting the upper hand. Like if she,
maybe
I don't.
But I just think it's crazy.
Outside of this,
it's psychotic regardless.
Of course.
But it's like that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't think clearly because if you really was about that, like you talked about, even let's take the marriage out of it. If you say you're polyamorous, why are you acting like you want to commit to this girl when you know that's not? You could have just been upfront because that's not what she wanted anyway. You would have had the perfect partner because she didn't want you in her business all day, every day. It would have been a perfect situation. But no, you crazy. And you took the extra steps that you didn't even need to take it. And that's my problem when people don't state their intentions. But also, is people don't know their intentions. Figure out what you want.
Yeah.
That's what's so frustrating. It's like they don't even know what they want, but get you out in the dating world. Figure out what you want first. You disrupting somebody else's peace. You don't know what you want. You confused. There's a lot of confusion in relationships. I ain't got time for that. Yeah, people date because they're bored, because they're hungry. Like, that's one thing. Like, you're not going to catch me. I can cook. I can afford to Uber Eats. I'm not going to go out on a date just to get a free meal. That's trash to me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hit dog collars. If you feel offended, then that's on you. But you should not date for no free meal.
Yeah.
That's not cool, man.
It's using people.
Yeah, it's using people.
Someone, ends up hurting you down the road because you just as toxic. You're manipulating.
That's toxic. Yeah, it's manipulative. And people always be like, oh, you always on the side of the woman. I know anybody can get it. I'm gonna judge the man and the woman equally. Because there are women out here who have foul behavior just like men have foul behavior.
They do.
So it goes both ways. I just feel like if people were more honest with what they wanted, it wouldn't be this much issues in the dating world. Because I do feel like monogamy is going away. And I think it's just because there are too many options. So that's why I feel like it's just important to be honest. Because you might find the person who like that. It's not me, but you might find it. And then you can leave the people who want to be in a monogamous relationship for the people who want to be in a monogamous relationship. There's people tied up in involuntary polyamorous relationships and they don't even know it. People are hoarding the dating pool with their trifling behaviors. And you're damaging people. And there's so many hurt people out here
that's just
trying to date each other. And then there's people who are doing their work and they trying to date somebody, but they broken. You out here breaking people and there's no one left. So do I have hope? Check in with me after this conversation. I mean, who would have hope if you really analyze this dating scene right now? It's crazy. Why would you have hope?
Why would I have hope?
After assessing all the nonsense.
Because
it's hard to be hopeful.
I consider myself to be a good person where they're being dated. I know
Me too.
My equal is out there too. Because like you said, there's toxicity in both the males, there's toxicity in both the females. And just like there's guys out here manipulating, lying, not being their authentic self in the dating pool, there's females doing the same thing. So there's nice girls, there's nice guys. I don't know what they are, but I know they exist. So
I'm not hopeless. I am not hopeless. We're just talking. Like I said, like you said, you're a good person. They must be a compatible good person out there. I'm sure they are. But it just seems like there's more in the pool of people who are not moving appropriately is growing. That's just been my assessment.
Okay. I feel like that's fair.
It's becoming more and more common to be trifling. And the thing is, the behaviors themselves aren't trifling. It's the lack of honesty. I'm not judging what you do and what you like, what your preference is. That's fine. I just don't like, why you gotta lie? That's the thing. People don't know themselves. They don't love themselves. Be confident in what you're doing. Because there is somebody out there who would want to participate. That's what I'm saying. It's the lies, the lies, the lies. Who said that, Candy? Yeah, that's the problem. It's just a severe lack of honesty going on. And it is frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna just put this PSA out there for y'all. You will be surprised if you just tell the truth. I think you will be pleasantly surprised at the outcome. Stop lying. Stop lying. Just be honest. Be honest up front and see what happens. And then you could come back in the comments and be like, Candace, you were right. Just try it.
Maybe it's the cynic in me. I just feel like some guys, they don't want the easy of
okay, with that though, as a high quality woman, as they say, they like to throw on that high quality man. I'm gonna claim the high quality woman term. As a high quality woman, have you ever experienced this? That you are someone to be conquered in a way? It's like they know you're the high quality person. You have all the standards so that they get with you just to prove that they did it. And then they disappear.
Yes.
So that's toxic too.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do, like you said, they don't want it to be easy. Like they felt like, I got her.
Mm-hmm.
And then they disappear. That's mean. I know that's a simple way to put it. It's mean.
That's ghosting. Huh?
You get some, that's not even ghosting. Like,
you said
they went through all that trouble just to like be like, oh no, I didn't want to be that serious with you anyway.
That is how.
But you figure it out in retrospect, after the fact. You figure out after the fact that that's what they did.
Yeah, that is how.
I've had guys even talk to me, like knowing I know they have a girlfriend.
Oh.
And here's the thing, because this is what I'm saying, be honest, sit people down, and you really have to be a mirror to them. Break it down. I'm like, your girlfriend is on your lock screen. So you're expecting me to be your side hoe? No, you're not a side hoe. You better than that. So what do you call it? I literally had this conversation.
What was the response?
They just like, no, that's not what the case is. But I'm like, what's the case? You're not breaking, like, guys, I don't understand. I don't know if it's an intellectual level. Do you just not comprehend? What else could it be? They just thought they was gonna get away with it.
They're getting away with it.
But that's the thing, that's what I keep saying. They do things because they do get away with it. But that's where I put that's where I kind of put some blame on the women.
Of course.
Because there were plenty of women who allowed it. That's why I think it's okay.
That's why it's normalized, absolutely. And it makes
we love to talk about guys and how they're trash. But at the same time, I feel like you have to address the girls too. Because it's like there were enough of you that enabled that behavior that he thought it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it boils down to. Because what I do think about that, I'm like, he's doing this. He's trying this. It's like, you know who I am. But you felt confident enough to try this. That means you were successful. Mm-hmm. A few times. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. But not successful enough.
Yeah, it is. They were successful enough to feel like I can try it with this high quality woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Old.
Absolutely. But they're so used to people lowering their standards. Right. And I have had these conversations. People, it's like they basically are telling me to lower my standards, and I that will never compute. I just need you to understand that will never compute in my head. why would I lower my standards?
It's they're getting to the phase of just being desperate, where it's just like, I'm looking at all this around me, all this is happening. I want in, so I got to play the field and do what I got to do to get in, versus just going, look at all this crap.
But that's where it comes back to loving yourself.
Right.
You have to love yourself and think that highly of yourself to where you will never be that desperate. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I will never be that bored or that hungry that I need to go out on a date. For what? For what? Mm-hmm. I'm not, like, I don't believe in that. And I just wish more people, I feel like if more people examine themselves and start to love themselves, that will completely change the dating game.
It would.
Completely. Because you just have so many people who just keep lowering the standard. People think they're going to change people. You can't change people. That's another thing. You can't change people.
Right.
There's too many Captain Save-A-Hoes out here. You ain't going to save them. Don't save them. They don't.
I didn't want to do it.
They don't want to be saved. Okay.
It was playing in my head. I just didn't want to be the one.
You know, it's always gonna be me. Don't save them.
And you know what? If that was you at one point and you dropped your standards, pick them back up. It is okay to pick them back up. Don't let somebody continue to treat you like trash just because you messed up.
I would much rather be the single rich aunt than in a toxic relationship.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I came to, you know what?
To be the cool one.
Years ago, and maybe I cursed myself by saying this. I was like, I don't think I will ever find a partner in Atlanta. Atlanta, man. Ooh. Atlanta is a city. That is all I can say.
That is a beast, just from watching the TV shows.
My gosh. So after that, I really had to just be okay with like being single. I mean, there are people who just think singleness is not a plague. It is not a disease. It is not something's wrong with you. And that's what people are like, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy? There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just comfortable with myself. And I don't feel desperate, like I just need to be up under somebody. Mm-hmm. Like I said, would it be nice? Sure. But I don't need to. And I think that's the conclusion more people need to come. You don't need it. You don't need it. It would be nice.
It's a very nice addition. And
because when it's something that you feel like you need, that's when you start dropping standards and lower and moving boundaries, and it gets tricky. Mm-hmm.
That's like it's a very bad example, but people, here we go again, foot in my mouth, people that get divorced or they break up, and I can only imagine how painful that is, especially if you living with somebody, have kids and all that involved, but they go through their hurt and stuff, and then some of them, pick themselves back up, and others, it's just downhill, psychiatric unit, they just out for the count.
Yeah.
You hear them when they speak, they're like, I lost my identity in this man or this woman. Yes. It's like, how the hell did you let that happen? Like,
but that's again why I said we need a clicker to count. You got to figure out how to love yourself. Get to know
don't
yourself.
Lose that. Not even in relationship. Don't lose that. You are your own person before you met this person.
You don't lose yourself in somebody else. You find other things about yourself in them. You don't give of yourself. You gain from them as they gain from you. Mm-hmm. Is a difference.
You sound like another poem about to come out. Okay, C Saint.
Search within. Yeah, but it's about mindset. Everything in life is about mindset. You have to have the right mindset before you go into things, and also the right intention. And what's the right intention? The right intention is just whatever your intention is.
Mm-hmm.
Your intention, baby, you just want a friend to kick it with on the weekend. There's nothing wrong with that. And that may not be the right intention for somebody else, but that's the right intention for you. That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Right. Be authentic.
Yeah, just be authentic. Be honest with yourself. It's nothing. I think people be judging themselves. It's not that they think that they're not gonna find it. They just think there's something wrong with them. Like, oh, I just want somebody to kick it on the weekend. That's not right. Because the right thing is to be in a monogamous relationship.
Well, that's
We
projected.
need it. We need to get out of that societal norm stuff. Just find what's right for you and be authentic with that. That's how I feel about it.
Well, I agree, but I'm just saying I'm putting that on individual. Can't blame society for everything. There's a lot of crap society puts on me.
Yes.
You got to break those barriers yourself.
Can't, but enough people don't do that self-work.
Well, that's the problem.
So, I mean, it is kind of like, especially with family and stuff, I do feel like you have to be careful to what you like impose on people. You can have traditions and ideas, but I don't think it's okay to just impose that on a person.
You talking about from a family perspective?
Yeah, because that's society in a way. That's your community.
It is your community, but I mean, I'm thinking in terms of like, a child.
Because it's like, and that's hard to come out of. So it sounds easy to be like, don't believe societal norms, but
you got to give some type.
It's a big influence. It's a big influence.
It is a big influence, but you have to give some type of foundation. They're only giving you what they know, but it is up to you at a certain point when you get older. Okay, now you see the world fresh lens to then, like you said earlier, question things and figure out what works for you. But I don't think it's wrong for parents to go, okay, well, I don't know, I want XYZ for you when you grow up, or to put whatever cultural or traditional stuff they know, because they're also giving you the best parts of them that they believe to be true.
Sure, but it's when it comes down to specifics where it can get tricky, just like the conversation we talked about with the hair. It's great to say, take pride in your appearance.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start digging into specifics, that's where you can go left.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, we hear it, like, every time you go to a family function, the first thing they ask is if you dating somebody.
Yeah.
I feel like you should start asking people, are you happy? Let's change this. Let's change the conversations at the barbecue. Are you happy?
Mm-hmm.
Are you content with yourself?
What's new?
Are you self-aware? Do you have knowledge of thyself?
No, I don't want
These are way better questions to ask.
So are you happy? That's a good question, because how the heck, you got families that don't even know people dealing with depression, people dealing with anxiety. How are you relating? You don't know that.
That's a conversation for another day. Ooh.
Got me fired up, but
that was saucy.
That? But you want to ask about, am I
dating? That's just like when you ask a woman why she's not pregnant.
Ooh.
It's the same. I feel like it's the same. You asking why somebody not in a relationship, but you don't know that they're going through some other stuff. Right. You asking a woman why she's not pregnant. You don't know she got health issues.
Right.
Like, you got to change the conversation. I like that. That was a good point.
I'm coming down for Thanksgiving. That's going to be the first question I ask.
Are you happy?
No.
Yo, people should start doing that when you greet people. Are you happy
lately? What's going on?
How is your mental health? Are you content with yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Are you self-aware? Are you living intentionally?
Yes.
Yo, I love it.
Questions that need to be asked.
Ask thought-provoking questions. Y'all just want to be nosy. Y'all just trying to be nosy. You don't care.
You gotta be ready for the response too. Don't just say it to say it. You ask a question, somebody break down and go, yeah, my life's been a little difficult lately. You gotta be prepared.
That's what I'm saying. Don't just be nosy. Y'all know y'all being nosy. Mind your business.
Don't worry, y'all. I got you. Next Thanksgiving, I'll be sure to bring the camera when Candace sounds off. Family.
That would be hilarious, actually. Okay. We went left. Let's go right. Let's talk ghosting. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why?
Communication. Everything comes back to communication. But
Do we need to have like speech? I feel, should it be mandatory speech classes and communication classes? My gosh.
It should.
And then I'm like, ghosting also, firstly, is immature, not even just immature. For me, I say is cowardly.
That's the word.
That is cowardly.
You don't have any respect for yourself. You don't have integrity. You don't have respect for the other individual.
Because you think it's gonna like it's making me question myself. It should make you question yourself.
Right. And the cop out I hate is when people ghost and then they want to use the term, I just was trying to preserve my energy. No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Yeah.
You were a coward and you lacked the emotional capacity to convey why you didn't want to deal with that person anymore. It's not saying everyone has to go, okay, I'm going to give you a list, a play-by-play list of why I don't want to talk. I enjoyed our time together, but you know what? I think
this is not for me.
And that's that.
Just exit. Just exit. You don't need to explain it.
It doesn't.
Just say that you're exiting.
Let them know. Because then the next thing is, look how this person's blowing up my phone. No, this is an adult person trying to figure out, hey,
did you die?
Alive? Like, that's what goes through my head is, okay, we were just talking yesterday and you disappear. Are you alive? This person has enough respect for you as a human being. Oh, crap, is this person alive? And you don't even have the respect to go, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
It's just human decency. I feel like it is rude.
It's disgusting.
Where are y'all's manners? What is wrong with y'all? The manners game is lacking. That's rude as heck.
It's disgusting. That's the word I use.
I hate that. It is so cowardly to me. It's just like y'all like to make every excuse to justify it, especially guys. No, you're a punk. That's how I feel. That's really my opinion. You're a punk. Just exit. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. This is not what I want right now. Cool. Right. Move on. It may hurt depending on what's going on. It may hurt for the moment, but you move on.
And you have that respect of, okay, this individual, just is not feeling it. That's fine. But to not feel it at all, that's sort of like a dagger to the heart of, whoa. So not only, especially if things were going good, so to speak, and then you just fell off. Because when things are rocky. If things are going good, you just hung out with the person the day before, laughed it up, went out to eat and all that, and you fall off the face of the earth. That is
I think it's really psychotic behavior. Because that does happen. It's not always things are going bad. It does happen where things are going nice, conversations flowing, you're getting to know each other, FaceTiming, hanging out, and then they just disappear off the face of the earth. That's weird.
I don't care. You were talking to multiple people and the one that you wanted showed up and you just went with it, or your wife caught you. I don't know what the situation is, nor do I care. I just like, be an adult. Do not call yourself a man. Don't even call yourself a grown woman if you're doing this out here. You are a child.
Yeah.
You are a child.
It's cowardly, bottom line. And really it's just rude. It's just rude. Period. And I just feel like you should be able to put two sentences together, be able to articulate your feelings and move on. But you just disappear. Like, who does that? When did this happen? Like, when did this start happening, yo? That's what I want to know. I feel like this is new.
It's not that new.
Newish.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. And I feel like
maybe because things are just more digital communications, more on the phone and text, that they can just
because before,
especially with the online dating is frustrating in and of itself, because you have to get out. I call it getting out of the phone. I refuse to live in someone's phone. That's what it feels like. You're just living in their phone. You don't exist in real life. this does not exist in real life. Until you meet that person in person, it's not real. That's how I feel. And there's a time limit. Like, I know people, they meet and they're talking. And I remember somebody was like, one of my friends was like, oh yeah, we were talking for a few months. I was like, months, like Soldier Boy reaction. Months.
Listen, I've done the online thing. You got a week tops. And that has to be a pretty hectic week, which I can't break out to see you in person.
Things happen. People work, people are busy, but that's like we said before, you make time for things that are important to you.
Right.
If you're really interested in this person, you should want to meet. If I don't know, maybe it's just me.
No, I think
I want to meet you,
but you don't. And it's different if you're in some long distance type stuff. You're on online, and you know.
Well, that's different. Well, you should be video chatting at least.
Right. But to full on, you know, you live 10, 15 minutes away from each other, and you just don't make time to see each other.
I be feeling some type of way. I'm offended. Like, you just not about to keep me in your phone.
No.
Like, we setting up house in the phone. We putting up curtains and painting the wall. No. No. And this is why I don't like online dating. Maybe I'm just impatient. I don't know. I think I don't know what I'm saying. I'm impatient. I'm old school. I like to talk to people. I really do. Because I feel like that's how you get to know people. I can't pick up on all the idiosyncrasies in your conversation through text. Like, I need to see you, see the body language, pick up on nonverbal cues. Like, these things are important to me.
I think it's an okay platform to meet people.
Sure, because it's hard to meet people
these days. You meet them,
especially with COVID. You know, there's the whole COVID dating.
Yeah,
things happen.
Sure. You had a conversation, you vet them out. You feel like, okay, this is an okay person. Then take it to the real world and get
because you won't know for real if they're a good person until you meet them.
Right.
And for me, sometimes I don't even need to talk to someone. I just need to be in their presence, and my gut will tell me, like, okay, proceed or run, exit stage left. You need to be in somebody's space, an intimate space. And like I said in the last video, I enjoy this word, intimate. Huh?
How many conversations go left with just texting?
It gets old. And for me, I'm like, if you're really interested, you should want to meet me. I could be finessing you. I'm a writer, okay? This could be complete nonsense that I'm putting in your phone. And you will never know. How are you gonna know? Until you meet me. Because if you meet me, you might be more likely to figure out if I'm being authentic or not. You know? You can't tell that from just reading messages. And that's how people get played.
Hi, Tangy. I also hate the whole send me a pic thing.
This technological barrier.
Right.
I feel like it's interfering. It's that interference. That's literal and figurative interference in the dating world. Send me a pic. I mean, it depends on what kind of picture. I'll say you like.
That only be one kind of picture. You get this headshot. You might get a full body if whatever. I was at a function or something. But all that.
No, that's not inappropriate because you want to make sure the person not catfishing you.
They can still catfish. What? I don't know. You seen the show? They can still catfish you. People do all types of stuff. Cut up people's.
People are bored. People are bored. But I feel like chances are
video chat me.
In my heart, well, that too. Send me a pic, because I want like, I feel like you can tell if somebody just took a picture. Take a picture right now and send it to me. You got to be specific. Take a picture right now. Timestamp it.
You just send it.
Like, I want to see what you look like now.
Yeah, it's video chat. It's video chat.
Like, it should not have to be that extreme. Like, that's crazy.
It is crazy, but I don't play these games. I do not play.
Like, you really have to be doing stuff like that. Pull up a newspaper with today's date and take a picture. Like, what? But there's people out here, like, they catfishing. So you got to see what people look like.
I got 1 week to see you tops in person. You got 2 days to video chat me tops. If not, there's no those are my rules. I haven't broken them yet.
TikTok, guys, TikTok. But
I'll talk to you online.
Months, no. I just don't have that kind of patience. I could not imagine.
Relationships people are in.
I would feel disrespected. I would feel disrespected if someone tried to keep me living in their phone for 3 months, 4 months. I would feel, I don't even know if I would make it that long, to be honest. But if I did, I honestly don't think I would make it that long. Let me not kid myself. But that's the danger of online dating, because you have to get past that virtual step. And that's the hurdle. I feel like it's not real till you get past that. You could talk all you want. You never meet this person. What's the point? I have friends. I'm not that desperate for conversation. We know why we're here. We met on certain apps. You know why we're here.
Some people do want friends. They put on their profile too. I don't understand why dating site for that.
I don't believe that. I'm not buying that. There's other ways to find friends.
Oh, I see it all the time. New here, just moved, looking for friends. Nightmare. It's a freaking nightmare.
I see it. I don't believe it. I just feel like that's people trying to flex. Like they too scared to tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Yep. Yeah.
How
do we meet people?
Right. Yeah, I was having that conversation the other day.
It's a serious question. How do
you know what? I had the thought, like I started having palpitations when I graduated college, because I feel like that's the prime moment.
Yeah, it's like the next
to meet people. Because when you're an adult, that's true. Where do you meet people? Work. But then that's dangerous.
You're messing my money.
Exactly. I mean, it happens, but that's tricky. That's tricky territory. It's tricky territory. And I don't know what it is about healthcare. It's messy. I mean, it's not Grey's Anatomy, but it's
every sense of the word is messy.
It's messy. I've seen it. I have seen it.
Providers don't be wanting to care for their own bodies. It's messy.
It be more entertaining than TV sometimes. But I'm not trying. It gets tricky. It's tricky for sure.
Not work.
But that's why I said when you graduate, your options become so severely limited.
Oh, I know.
Because then like at the grocery store, you going out and then you grow up and you don't club anymore. You don't go out to lounges. So
it's very limited. That's why
you might meet a friend of a friend somewhere. It's hard. It's tough. That's a good question. But in this day and age, it seems like it's all going digital.
Do you know
but if you're
Atlanta ranks for singles?
Oh, I don't know.
Keep going. I'm gonna look this up.
They say it's a great city for singles because there's a lot of single people, but it's like, why are they all single? If you dig, is it truly a great place for singles? Or are they just a lot of them? What is the definition? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they say, oh, these are cities that are great places for singles, what do you mean by that?
Great for them to meet other people.
There's just a large quantity of single people.
Right.
What does that really mean? And why are there so many people who are single? Oh, that's what anytime I read that, that's what I'm like, but why? Why are there so many single people in your city?
These are things I never even thought about. And it was like after I moved here in Austin, it was like,
that's why you need to have these conversations.
Going like the top #1 single spot. And I was like,
like there are a lot of young professionals.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they mean, but it's like, they never define it really. I think it just means there's a large quantity of single people there. But that's not necessarily always a good thing.
Right. But no one loves hair. That's
They ain't loyal. They ain't loyal.
ATLS.
These people for the streets, okay?
Yeah.
Atlanta is for the streets. So let me stop. All of the entire. Let me stop. But yeah.
Atlanta.
What does it mean? What does it mean when they say that? But yeah, to backtrack, that whole ghosting thing needs to go in the trash.
Yeah.
It's just, and then I feel like it also removes the opportunity for that person to grow, because you may not give all details, but maybe you just were like, you know what, the conversation just wasn't stimulating. Mm-hmm. But when you ghost, you take away that opportunity for that person to change. Maybe they're like, shoot, maybe I was dry. You don't know why they're dry. Maybe they're always texting because they're at work and they can't really, when you communicate, you don't give. You could have lost a good person. Mm-hmm. You need to learn how to communicate, because even sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm out with my friends at such and such. I can't really talk right now, but I'm an answer. So I'm letting you know why my answers are short. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm not like this all the time. You remove the opportunity for growth. I feel like it's good to get feedback.
No, it's true. It's definitely true. There's this.
In those exact words. Why? Well, you're just not my type. I think you're a cool person, but I feel like we're in different places in life.
And I feel like that just needs to be respected too, because then some people go.
It was very respectful. I wasn't trying to be mean. They were open to receive the feedback, because you could hurt people. You could have them out there just thinking that they're a trash human being, and they're not. They're just not for you. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with saying that. I feel like it's important to provide feedback. You're like, this conversation was boring, and maybe they might pick up a hobby and become more interesting. You just never know. You are removing that person's opportunity for growth when you ghost somebody. Think about it from that perspective, right, folks.
And what about the ghost that pops?
In case maybe I talk too much, but let me know. Huh?
So what about the ghost that?
What'd you say? No. Because I'm like, where were you from February to October? And now you popping up my phone. No. This is the best one. Where were you from October till February? Mm-hmm. Because it's Valentine's now. You want to pop up my phone. Oh, yeah. I've had that happen before.
Yeah, it's very coordinated with things.
So you know what? Even with that, I do ask just to see if you're going to tell the truth.
Heck no, I don't ask. I don't respond.
Sometimes I'm bored. I just want to see. It depends on the situation. If it was just a stranger who ghosted me, like I didn't care. But like I've been ghosted by somebody I knew before, so I was like, I'm better. You're better than this. I deserve better than this. Like, why would you do that? There was no reason for you to ghost me. You could have just told me. So for kicks and giggles, I'm gonna ask. Because it's uncomfortable. You know how I feel about that.
I don't get the time.
I'm gonna be nobody. Who else is gonna ask? You know I'm gonna ask. You already know. I'm gonna ask. If nobody else is gonna ask, I'm gonna ask.
I don't care.
And I got the truth.
You can say that will make me care. I don't care. It's too many months.
I mean, we're not gonna date, but I'm just curious. Just curious.
Yeah, I ain't curious.
If you had the audacity,
so I'm saying,
okay, the gall to pop up in my phone.
That's what I'm saying.
What'd you say?
The audacity to pop back up.
We gonna have a conversation about it.
Oh no.
Hey, long time. What? New phone? Wrong number? Like what? I would be like, are you serious?
Oh, I'm not.
Are you serious right now?
I will actually call AT&T and have that number blocked. To be honest, that's the exact moment right there.
It depends on my mood. Sometimes I might just be, I might just be bored enough to ask, just to see if you gonna tell the truth.
You're bored. You woke up and chose violence. I feel like that's okay.
I often do. So I'm like, I want to know. I want to know because, like I said, it's an opportunity for growth. Why did you do this?
See, I feel
like I have a teacher spirit. I have a teaching spirit.
But you're assuming that people are coming to you and they're ready to grow.
I mean, if they're not going to answer, they're not going to answer. But I can still ask.
Well, they'll definitely give you a response. It'll just be a stupid one. Because anyone,
not always, because what, like,
okay, that makes sense.
Not sometimes. Really? One time,
that many months.
What?
They've given you a response and it made sense for why they were gone?
I mean, one like got into a relationship, thought they were gonna find an upgrade version of me. Didn't happen. No, like that was good. Like I literally sat down. We went to lunch, had the whole story. I laughed. It was great. I laughed hysterically. It was a funny story to me.
Wait a minute. I'm thinking you just like bored, playing around back and back. You actually got dressed and met up with this person.
I've done that before.
You good. Ain't no way.
But that was not an online situation. Like that was just a different circumstance. But I was curious. I'm like, I admire the fact a little bit. It's not courage. It is audacity. I will say that. But you have the audacity to run this situation. Let me run it back. I'm gonna entertain this. Let me see what you have to say.
How did this go? I gotta hear a little bit about this story.
Because I was like, you did ghost me. You do realize this. Like, you didn't have to do that. I thought we were better than this.
Uh-huh.
You're right. What happened? I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna explain it over lunch. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Let me hear it.
Okay.
So I'm like, if you want to be honest, it's not gonna go anywhere. But let's hear it. Because it's like somebody that you may have been friends with before, whatever. I'll listen. I don't see a problem with that.
Now you made me feel like the cold herd person. I'm just like, nope, blocked.
No, because like you just never know. You just never know. Things happen. I've had multiple like situations like where they're legit circumstances. But I still, regardless, even if there was a legit excuse, there is never an excuse to ghost. You could just say, this is not a good time. And then you come back 6 months later and be like, I had a death in the family. I understand.
That makes sense.
Because that has happened. But like you could, it's just like, don't just disappear. That is the thing. Like, why did you have to do that? If your grandma died, you could have just said that.
I had a death in the family. Sorry. You know what?
I would be empathetic.
I had a death in the family. I'm dealing with some stuff.
Get you a card, send you some flowers. That's fine. It is completely acceptable. You should not date if you have a traumatic event like that happen to you.
Right.
I respect that decision.
Right.
Completely. And that's what I'm saying. When you find a good person will respect that. Fair. I don't want to date you while you're going through that. That is completely fair. You're saving me trouble. Mm-hmm. You don't need to go through that, and neither do I. Mm-hmm. It's completely fair.
I agree, yeah.
If you feel like resuming this situation when you're healed, we can talk. But when you ghost, you remove that opportunity because you could have resumed.
Right. But I'm not interested if you're coming to me 4 or 5 months down the road and, say, Colette, let's try to get it back up together.
Yeah, like even after that, like even if it's a good reason, I'm probably not going to date you after that because I feel like you should have respected me enough to just tell the truth.
Right.
The good reason or not. You should have
That's
just.
one thing in the back of my head is, okay, so anytime you're going through life, you
Yeah.
fall off.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if, I need you in some capacity, or if I'm worried about you, you fall off. You don't care about.
There are people who just shut down
Right.
when anything happens. And so that's why I'm saying get to know yourself, get to know other people. I cannot deal with that. If something's going on, I want to talk about it now. Now, while it's fresh. I can be understanding, but I need you to give me a time frame at least. Give me a day, give me a week. Okay. But it will need to be talked about. So when you're dealing with me, just know we're going to talk about it.
Whatever they're going.
I want to talk about it now. But even if you don't, I might just give me a time frame. Because we're going to circle back around to it.
About what their issue was? Is that
whatever. Yeah.
You feel it needs to be talked about too?
Not ghosting. I'm just mean in general.
Oh.
No, I just mean in general.
Okay.
Ghosting, like, it depends on the situation. Like, if you just go, if like you're just somebody I met, if it's somebody that I have invested time with, like 9 times out of 10, I don't date strangers, like meaning just somebody I never knew. Like I've dated friends or, people, coworkers of friends of friends, something like that. Like I knew them in some capacity. Okay. So in that way, I might say, okay, well, why did you do this? Because you're not a stranger. If you're a stranger, I don't care. I'm not.
Yeah, I feel.
But if it's somebody, it's like, I'm gonna see you in the future. We could probably gonna talk about it. Because I'm just like, yo, that was rude. Like, why would you do that?
That's more hurtful.
That's disrespectful.
That's when my sisters will actually come out right there. Is if we knew each other. A stranger, I can be like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't know you. I don't know what the heck is going on with you. But if I knew you and you did it, that deserves the scissors.
That's why I felt like, I'm like, you know what? I have the opportunity to, how many people get that opportunity?
It's not, listen, I am a physical therapist. I'm not a teacher. I'm not here to give out these life lessons. You better go see your therapist and get the help you need.
I'm just a curious cat. I think I'm just curious. Don't just be curious. I'm curious about life. I just want to know, like, why did you do that?
I don't care. Because once you did it, you did it. You can't go back and do it. So
I don't know. Maybe I just
you got the patience for stuff you want to.
I'm different.
Talking about I don't got no patience. That's a hell of a lot of patience to be going out to dinner with somebody that ghosted you. I would have showed them guns a-blazing.
I'm different. I don't know. It just depends on the mood you catch me in. What were the circumstances surrounding this event? That matters too.
If this ever goes viral and anyone that has ever ghosted me sees this video, do not reach out.
Don't reach out. Don't reach out, yo.
It is okay. I am past it. Don't pop back up if you're feeling guilty.
If you pop back up for me, just know you're gonna get asked some questions. I just feel like you should learn something new every day. There's always a chance for growth. In relationship successes and relationship failures, there's always an opportunity for growth. And I feel like when you ghost, you remove the opportunity. Even if we just start talking and you're not interested in me, I would like to know. I kind of would like to know why. Because maybe there's something I need to work on. I feel like I'm just always on a quest for self-improvement. Maybe that's why I care. I would like to know. I ask my friends, I'm like, am I too loud? Am I too this? Am I too whatever? I may not care. I may not agree, but it's just good to know. Because maybe I might be like, you might be onto something. You never know. So if you date me, the door is always open for feedback. I want to know. Let me know. Don't be rude, but you can let me know. I want to know. I'm curious.
Just know.
I'm so serious.
I know you are.
I be wanting to know.
Every time we talk, I'm learning stuff about my own cousin as well. Okay.
Tell me. I just like the truth. I like the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. It don't matter if it's good, bad, hurtful. I want to know. There's always something to learn from it. That's how I feel. I feel like if more people heard the truth about themselves, they would grow quicker. Because I'm like, especially with women and men, like female-male relationships, like women, I feel like are scared to tell the truth. They'll just go along with it. No, tell them, because you making this person think it's okay that they whack. You making it worse for the next girl or guy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Tell this man he boring. Tell this man he got audio. Receded and he just needs to let it go.
Who the heck are you going on dates with?
Tell him that he hat fishing, okay? Because dudes be hat fishing. Tell the truth. Tell the girl, maybe you should freshen up that weed more frequently. Maybe you're a little too bossy. Maybe you're a little too talkative. Because they need to grow. How are they ever going to change if nobody ever tells them?
Do you feel responsible?
I don't want somebody like, huh?
You feel responsible to teach them this.
I don't need to teach them. Like if I give feedback, I'm not going to sit with them and coach them. I'm just going to say, because that's on them if they want to grow or not, if they want to change or not. I'm going to say, but here's also the thing. It may not be a bad thing. I was just giving extreme examples, but if somebody's boring, that's relative. I don't find you fascinating. Or if you're talking about something, comic books, I don't read comic books. But you can find somebody who does.
Right.
So it's not always a negative thing. But then it's just the truth.
Person, you can't give them the feedback of them being boring because that's your perception. You have to say,
well, I could say this conversation is boring. I could say this conversation is boring. All you're talking about is comic books. I don't read comic books. I don't think we'd be a good fit. That's the truth. It's not necessarily negative. It's just the truth. Somebody else might find that fascinating. I just do not. That's why I will say this will not be a successful venture for you. We do not have enough in common. So in that way, if you break it off with a person, they don't feel bad because there's nothing wrong with you. We're just not a good fit. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important too, because in breakups, or whatever, not be a full breakup, you were just talking, people will feel bad about themselves. They're like, oh, they just don't like me, or there's something wrong with me. It's not always something wrong with you. It could just be that you weren't a good fit. Mm-hmm. And that's okay too. So that's why I feel like it's important. People think it's weird, but I think it's important to communicate. Because I've had that moments where I'm like, man, I feel bad about myself. I'm human. As much as people think like I'm not affected, my feelings be hurt. I'm like, dang, what's wrong with me? Why don't they like me? Maybe they just don't want to hear my work stories, about the gross stuff I see at work. And that's fine too. If they had just told me that, I'd be like, okay, cool. They're not interested in hearing my work stories. I'm not a bad person. I'm not boring. I'm not ugly.
Yeah.
Huh?
No. You just answered it.
Yeah. So it's just like feedback could be a good thing. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, you trash. Like, no, that's not feedback. That's just being mean. And I think it's good. I think it would be a good thing for a person to hear it's not you. Because they say it's not you, it's me. But not even that. Like, that's cliche, but it's not you. It really isn't you. I just don't think we're a good fit. And I think that will put people at peace. And they're not just at home beating themselves up thinking that they're not a good, a good person, that they're not good enough to date. Because I've had people ask me, they're like, do you think I'm ugly? I'm like, no. Maybe you're just not that person's cup of tea. So you just never know. Like, that could really impact a person. These trifling dating behaviors, that hurt. Like, we're human. That hurts. Mm-hmm. And I feel like people just don't care anymore. I don't know what it is. They lack empathy. They lack humanity. They're so like involved in a social virtual reality that they just cannot communicate on a human level. Whatever it is, it needs to stop, because like people out here being hurt unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they don't want the feedback, but you could just say we're not a good fit and exit, and that's enough.
That's enough. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if they want to know more, tell them more. If not, leave it alone. But just give them the common decency to just cut it off cleanly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sick of the people who come up with every excuse why not to do that. There's no justification. It's just rude.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to say you lack manners, and your mom will be very disappointed, or your dad will be very disappointed, or whoever raised you will be disappointed that you're out here acting this way. I wonder, like, do people ever think about that? The way you moving, whoever raised you, would they be proud of this?
They might even
behavior.
Huh? They might have taught it to them too, though.
There's that, but I feel like some people just feel like they didn't have a good upbringing. And that just really, I'm just like, would they be proud of this behavior that you're operating in right now? People just don't care. It's crazy. They just really don't care. Mm-hmm. So I just hate it. It's just like hurt people. We just need to stop hurting people.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you never know. Like, people don't think enough about their actions. They're like, oh, I stopped talking to this girl. But it's like, you don't understand how that could really impact that girl.
I don't think it's necessary that they even, they don't care. But it's also,
you should be more considerate.
I don't think they want to deal with owning up to their hurt, their damage. They don't want, oh man, now I got to see this girl cry, or I got to hear, the pain that I caused.
You can text it.
I don't want to deal with that.
Which I don't like that either.
No, don't text me that ever.
It depends. It depends on the situation. If you just talking to somebody, if you just met on like Tinder or wherever, you'd be like, you know what? This is not going to work out. Even with Tinder, even if it's just a conversation, I just feel like there's no instance where ghosting is appropriate. Like, it's just unnecessary. You be like, this conversation was cool, but this is not for me. Like, I feel like that don't take no effort. That's not hurt nobody. And it's respectful. Mm-hmm. But maybe that's just me. I'm old school. I don't know.
No, that's just basic human.
As you know, my love is like 90s R&B. I'm old school.
It all comes down to respecting human beings, really.
Yeah, it's about just mutual respect.
That's what you become known as, the person that ghosts. That is your reputation.
But then you want to be with somebody new and try to be this whole new being.
Who's going to take you seriously? And you have no one to blame for yourself, because no one forced you to act that way. You did it on your own.
Yeah. But there's at least dudes who know that they were out here acting crazy, or girls they know who know they were out there acting crazy. But I admire the people who at least will admit it, because there are people who will not admit that behavior was not okay.
I don't admire them even if they do know that they're acting crazy.
But I admire them for admitting that behavior is not okay and for doing differently now. That was the end of the sentence. Because there are people who will not admit that that's trifling. And I don't like that. So I'm like, y'all perpetuating toxicity. I'm not okay with that. Because you make it life difficult for me, and I don't need a difficult life.
It's already like, we're already going to hurt each other by accident, just.
Yeah, it's a vulnerable space. Any relationship, you have to be vulnerable, and that is difficult.
But to do it intentionally, that's just cruel.
Yeah, it's cruel, because you already have people letting their guard down, and then you just do something shiesty. Like, that's not okay. Mm-hmm. So that's why I just always lead with honesty, and not even just being honest with my intention, just being honest and showing who I am, being authentic. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to act. I don't want no questions. You're not going to be surprised 6 months down the line. I'm going to show up on the FaceTime. Like, if you tell me you want a video chat, I'm going to answer right now, because I want you to know what I look like on a normal basis. I'm that real. I want you to see that. Not that I look crazy. I mean, this is what I look like on a daily basis from the head up. Like, this is what you will see every day. But I want you to see that. Like, you know, in dating, especially online dating, to have these profile pictures and girls are beat down and the dudes, they are dressed up, looking clean, got their hat on if they hat fishing. That's not real. And of course, you want to present your best self, but at some point, you need to present your real self. Not saying that that's not real, but what are you like? Not 24/7, but out 14 to 16 hours a day that you awake and operating and moving. What do you like? And I think that you need to reveal that sooner than later. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a problem because people are just being fake. They are being who they think you want them to be. I think there's a lot of that. And it also is presumptuous. Like, how do you know what I want? You just be yourself. And if I like it, then cool. If I don't, I don't. But I think that's what people are afraid of. It's not that you're not good enough. It's just that you're not the right fit for that person. And I think people need to change their mindset about that. And I think people always jump to the conclusion, oh, I'm not good enough. It's not that you're not good enough. Y'all don't mesh. And that's cool. I think it's a
self-confidence thing too. Like, yes, it hurts if, you know, you're constantly getting that feedback of, it's not you, it's me. But at the same time, have enough confidence to know that there's someone out there that will appreciate you for you.
Yeah, because there was moments where I had to check myself. I'm like, man, maybe it is me. And I was like, nope.
Nope. You gotta get to that point where you're just like, okay, you know, I got a couple more rejections than normal this month.
You have to do self-assessment. It's not about being full of yourself. You know, I'm a confident person. I think I'm pretty good looking. I think I'm pretty smart. I think I'm pretty funny. People are like, you really just out here listen. Oh yeah, attributes. But like, for real, like, I feel like I said before, self-love, self-awareness, and self-love. I am able to say these things. Like, let me be honest, because I joke around a lot. I am able to say these things because I did step back and do the work. I did have to sit down and be like, dang, what's wrong with me? And then, you know, people have good and bad about themselves. It's not necessarily bad. It's just good and different. The different is not for everyone. So I'm like, what's good about me? I think I'm pretty good looking. I think I'm pretty smart. I think I'm pretty funny. I think I have a good heart. Those are facts that I have for myself. These are my truths. And there's nothing that anyone can say to dissuade me. Is that a word? I think so. Dissuade me from believing that. Right? These are my truths. And there's nothing that you can say that will make me believe otherwise.
Okay.
So in the dating world, I'm just going to think maybe we just don't get along. And that's fine. I'm not for you. Or maybe I just don't want what you want. We're on different pages. We want different things. We're in different stages of our life. And that's okay. When you get to know yourself, you don't take things as personally. And that's important because then you don't pour that hurt onto someone else. And that's one of the 4 agreements. I reference that book a lot in life. Don't take things personally. And the more you take things personally, the more hurt you accumulate and the more hurt you'll pour onto everybody else. Mm-hmm. I know we're talking about dating, but I had to get deep.
No, that goes with it though. That goes with it. So even if when you do get the feedback, that doesn't resonate as a truth for you, especially if you haven't heard it from multiple people.
Because here's the thing though. Here's the thing. If somebody called me ugly, I might laugh. Because I truly don't believe I'm ugly. Not to be like arrogant or like, you know, full of myself. Like, I just really don't believe that. So that's what happens when you get to know yourself. If somebody called me stupid, I would be hard pressed to believe that. You might know more than me on a certain subject, but that doesn't mean I'm dumb. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something I learned about myself. I think I'm very intelligent. I don't know everything. You might know more about me than a certain subject, but also with me, I'm willing to learn. I like to learn. I'm fascinated about things. So you can call me stupid. I will laugh at that too, because I'm not dumb. Mm-hmm. I know that. That is the truth. Am I funny? I think I'm funny, but that's relative. So that can be up for debate.
Gosh.
But I'm just saying, like, the more you get to know yourself, the less likely that somebody can hurt you because you know what's true and what's not true.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Go to therapy, guys. Do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work.
Hey, therapy never hurt nobody.
No, it doesn't.
It won't hurt. It won't hurt to give it a shot. That's how I feel about it.
There's many different platforms. Everyone out here trying to hop on this online dating, go hop on that online therapy, okay? I get it, COVID's happening, maybe they won't want you in the office. Hop on it. There's so many different platforms.
I think it's just important in dating to realize your self-worth.
Absolutely.
That is so important. Because when you realize your self-worth, you're not going to just lower your standards or put up with anything. And it's not worth being in a toxic relationship or unhealthy relationship just to say you're in one.
Whew. Repeat it.
The greatest love of all, Whitney said. How many times, we need a cricket for how many times I quote Whitney Houston. Or how many times I quote a song. How many times I drop a lyric. We need a super fan to count that. When we blow up, I'm like putting in an atmosphere. Super fan, count how many times I quote lyrics. It's the greatest love of all.
Inside of me.
It's inside of me.
Oh my gosh.
That's real though.
I laugh, but it is true.
You have to find that love first.
Yeah.
Because you are not going to get it from somebody else.
No, not in the way that you should. Yeah.
Nobody's going to love you the way that you need it. No, not completely. Mm-hmm. I think it's impossible to find the complete love that you need for yourself and someone else. Mm-hmm. So all those self things, you need to get it together. Self-awareness, self-worth, self-love. You heard it here first, guys.
That's true.
It's important. It's important. And I feel like it's so funny to me. People call me cocky and arrogant and I'm full of myself and I'm bougie. But it's like, you don't understand what it took to get me to this point. And you can call me whatever you want. Usually it's a joke. But it's like, even if it's not a joke, I really don't care. Because I know what it took for me to get to this point. Mm-hmm. I didn't always believe those things. Mm-hmm. There were points in my life where I seriously questioned who I was and was I a good person. So yeah, I'm gonna be full of myself. If that's what you want to call it. I'm gonna be full of myself because I did the work. Mm-hmm. I had to dig. I had to climb up out of some things to get to this point. Right. So I'm gonna clap it up for me because ain't nobody else gonna do it. Yep. I'm gonna be my own biggest fan. And if you don't like it, then maybe you need to do your work and be your own biggest fan so you won't be intimidated by it.
You got the mic near you?
Let me exit stage left, okay? Sometimes I don't even know what's gonna come out sometimes, but it's like I don't realize how deep it is until I say it. That's real. That is real. Yeah. When you do your work, then come find me. Mm-hmm. And that's how I feel with friendships. That's how I feel with family. That's how I feel with dating. I don't want nobody who doesn't feel full of themselves. I want you to be full of yourself. Because I'm full of myself most days. I'm human. Don't nobody feel full of themselves every day. But I am full of myself. I am full in myself. That's the most important thing. You see what I did there?
Yes.
I am full within myself.
That's the important part.
Right. And so if you're going to align yourself with me, I need you to be full. Because you can only give from your overflow. Mm-hmm. Woo! She preaching today.
Okay, it's Sunday. You feeling that spirit? Go ahead.
Must be. She on a roll today. Okay, you can only give from your overflow.
Yeah.
Because I've tried the other way.
You drain yourself, or others drain you, I should say.
You will be very deficient. What happens when you're deficient? You get sick. And that's real. Like, people don't understand, like, emotional, like, people really focus on physical sickness so much. You can be emotionally and mentally sick.
And it just shows.
And that leads to physical sickness. It's all connected. Like, I'm telling you, I have seen people in relationships and I look at them and they look sickly. Like, I'm not exaggerating.
Oh, I know.
That's real.
You get the patient, they coming in the symptoms and this, that, and the third, and then they start talking about their life and how stressful it is, or this relationship or that. And all of a sudden, the values start going, lower, and the heart rate starts raising, their blood pressure starts elevating while they're talking to you. Okay,
that's real. That is real. And I got enough problems on my own. I do not need to be more sick, especially from something that is preventable. Yeah, as a human being leeching off of my energy.
That part.
Because there are some leeches. They will leech off of your finances. They will leech off of your energy. They will leech out of your mind space. They will leech off of your emotions and your heart.
Because they don't want to do the work.
Do what you will with that information. But the more that you are self-aware of yourself, the more perceptive you will be of others. And I think that's what people don't understand. Because like you're observant, you figure out behaviors. And it's like, why do you feel like I always pick up on stuff? So I do the work. Like, I can look at somebody and like I don't even need to talk to them, just be in their space. I'm like, oh, that's not the human being to be around. That's how you keep yourself safe in life. Yeah. From like literal danger, emotional danger, whatever danger, you need to be observant and aware. Awareness is so important. Too many people out here just walking around living their best life, not knowing what's going on. What's the moral of the story with this dating world?
I like those.
Besides it being complete and utter trash. But we learned a lot on how to make it not so trash. Yes. I feel.
Yeah, we talked about it all.
I feel like there's a lot of life lessons to gain here. How can we do better? But here's the thing. Do we want better? How many people want better? Or how many people are just content to just, I want better.
I would like to believe people want better, they just don't know how to go about it.
Maybe.
I don't want to believe that people just don't want better. I feel like
and it's not that they don't want better, it's just that they're having fun and it doesn't matter. I guess what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Are we too far gone? I don't know. I wonder.
That is a question.
Or when do they figure out that there's more to life than just having fun? Or will it be too late?
Hell out their circle and explore.
That's the thing. It's like eventually there's more. You figure out there's more to life than just fun.
I'm waiting for this week that C-Say poem. Okay, I've been doing this too much today. I'm waiting for the poem. It will come out.
Y'all putting too much pressure. Just take these nuggets when they drop.
Just listen.
I don't even know what I'd be saying. It just comes out. It's just the work. It's the work flowing out.
The self-love.
That's all. I am not. Look, I did not say it.
You didn't. I said it.
You said it. Look, I'll take it. I'll receive it. You never know, man. You never know. You never know what you're called to do. Well, you should know what you're called to do after you do the work. But you never know. You never know.
But yes,
I just want better for people. And because selfishly, when people do better, it's better for me.
better for everybody.
It's a better world. It's a better world. When everybody wants better and everybody desires better, seeks out better, and does better, it makes everything easy for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Stop being so selfish. Maybe that's the moral. Because there's people just out here being selfish. Like, they don't care who it impacts. As long as they fine, they don't care. So maybe there's that. Maybe there's that. Stop being so selfish, guys. Like, ew.
Think about others. Be considerate, okay? You're responsible. We like to say, we're all our brother's keeper. Maybe we hate that saying, but we really are. Be very intentional with what you do, what you say, okay? Be sensitive to other people. They're human. They have feelings just like you. You don't want your feelings hurt. Don't hurt nobody else. Do the work. Self-reflection. Take all that feedback you've been getting all your life. Dig deep. Find yourself. No one else can define that for you. You got to do the work. Go to therapy. What you got to do? Meditate. Go on a rock somewhere. I don't know. Figure it out. Define yourself. Once you get
for yourself,
hold on to it. Don't let anybody else give you an identity. Hold on to how you define yourself. And if you're going to go in a relationship, you're now responsible for another person's emotions. Well, not the reaction, but their emotions. Be sensitive to that. Communicate. Be honest. Take accountability for your actions. That one I got to look. Take accountability for your actions.
mm-hmm.
Don't blame nobody else. You did it. No one forced you. And
nobody can fix you. You got to fix yourself.
Most important, love yourself. Love yourself. She's gonna burst out in song again.
I'm not. The greatest love of all.
I felt it.
Right here, guys.
Yes.
Right.
Those are our takeaways. It's been nice chatting with you all.
As always. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Yes. Yes.
Peace. This was Hey Cuz.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Till next time.